Okay, boys. So, as you can see, I'm not redheaded, but I do have a red hat. So, I'm trying to make it work because last episode, if you missed it, go check it out. I reacted to it. A certain red haired ginger man showed up. The only one that you can probably think of aside, well, I did say man, so there's only one that you can probably think of. I was going to say Nami is ginger, but there's only one ginger man we care about in this show, and that is Shanks. Shanks made a little appearance, which was surprising. We don't know why he's in Wano, but he's here. And Green Bull showed up before that. So now we have an Admiral and not just a Yonko, but red-haired Shanks in the same area. I mean, we actually have two Yonko, technically, because of Luffy, but he's a little exhausted. I mean, he's not actually exhausted, he's partying. I think Luffy's completely fine to fight Green Bull, but some people say I'm underestimating the Admirals. Not because of that, but because of the way I'm treating Green Bull. I mean, I don't know. I would say when it comes to the world of One Piece, the one people who are like right below the Yonko, like I mean, there's nobody in between, is the Admirals. It goes Admirals, then Yonko. In my head canon. If you think they're equal, I mean, I'm not really gonna argue with you because I don't see a point. I feel like that's usually people that have those stance are pretty strict on it. So if that's not what your stance is, and you do believe in that hierarchy, but you think it's a lot closer than than I make it seem, then fine, fair enough. I will be fair though. I did try to make it clear not all admirals are built the same, and I also think not all Yonko are built the same. Shanks is a different problem than I feel like we give him credit for. So let's see what he gets up to. I'm gonna start this all up in 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh. Banquet time. Got all the recaps, Sabo. Yeah. The world's going through a lot of stuff, alright? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would rather focus on what's happening in Wano right now. It's funny, because when Mary Jo was happening, I was like, the complete opposite. I was like, I don't care. A guy who says he'll strike back at all of them, and then he doesn't move from his desk. Dun, dun. Man, I have so many questions about this scene, dude. Because it's like, what were they doing before then? What does that mean exactly when he says going for the One Piece? You know? How did their plans change? Is it because of Luffy? Like, why did their plans change? You know, like there's so many questions from that. I feel like every time Shanks shows up, it's the chopper feeling. Oh, I thought not. I was like, wait, Nami? I thought Usopp was the one with good aim. Okay. We're really filling out this episode here. Nice. Wow. Good job, Nami. Whoa. Whoa. You suck. Whoa. Maybe leave it at Usopp next time. We didn't see the big dogs yet. Have we seen Zoro? I think we did. No, we did. Yeah, he was drinking with he's drinking with somebody, can't remember. I love how Toei's like, how do we fill out the episode? I know, we'll give Usopp a flex scene. Cool. Wow. I don't think you're allowed to shoot with that. In fact, I know you're not allowed to shoot with that. Oh, never mind. No, it was like, you have to shoot with the gun, because the gun is rigged. What a distraction from the title. The coming of a new era. Red Hair's Imperial Rage? Oda, what do you mean by that? Imperial Rage? Whoa. Imperial would imply, like he's a monarch. I mean, he is an emperor, but imperial. Actually, yeah, that's right. Empire, imperial, emperor. Yeah, fair enough. Rage, huh? So Shanks is angry, angry. Whoa! Pause. Pause on that subtitle. That's Zeus, buddy. You are getting too wild here. Let's calm down, man. What's the difference between shaved ice and a snow cone? Or like a sorbet? What is the difference between those three things? Are we done? We're done, right? Okay. I think we're done. Because they're panning out. Oh, thank God. I try to come up with like a hypothetical just to entertain the minutes going by. There we go. Now we're back in the stuff that actually matters. Ooh. It's not a full moon, is it? The moon should be... The night's still going, right? So maybe it should be a full moon. But I guess they'd be too tired. Because you're not part of their empire. Yeah. Yamato's supposed to be... Yamato's kind of a straw hat. Not officially, but... Even though she's from Wano, she was born here. Actually, no, maybe she wasn't born here. No, she wasn't born in Wano. Yeah, we don't actually know where she was born, but she was raised in Wano. She doesn't count as one of them. Because she wants to leave too eventually. So they gotta, like, come to terms with being strong enough to protect their own country. Even though I wouldn't call Yamato a foreigner, but, like, she kinda is. Or he. Gonna get crucified for this. Damn, that looks like a big attack. What? Fireball Jutsu! Phoenix Flower Jutsu! Raizo, where was that when we were on... When did... Bro, where was the Jutsu here? Ah! Oh, wow. He just flexed. Oh, okay. Fire break for us? Yeah, that's a good point. If he had an obvious weakness. You see, this makes me think that Crocodile learned... Yikes! This makes me think that Crocodile has, like, adapted from his water weakness. Because I feel like some of these... This is also why I feel like the Aokiji versus Akainu fight wasn't as simple as, like, Akainu had fire. Also, Raizo is dying. I should probably give that some attention. Sorry. Dude, watch out, man. You know, I wondered about Yamato. What if his skin's like the same as his dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it tough at the same level? Oh my God, he's just flailing their bodies. What the hell? This is kind of like brutal, dude. Like, why do we have to watch through all of this? Really draw out their suffering here. There's Law. Of course, Law and Robin have to be on the same page again. This looks so weird. He's like, not that I, like, you know, completely, you know, always keep an eye on you or anything. He's like, Robin, it's not like I'm interested or something. I don't ship them, just to be clear. I'm just saying, if I was him, I'd be the same as Law. I'd be like, where's Robin? suspicious. I'm gonna go check. Only because she's a suspicious person. Not because of anything else. So can he swim? How long have you been walking down? That's not answering the question, old man. He's like, how far do we have to go down? Well, you see, hundreds of years ago in the past. Don't. That's not answering the question. That doesn't sound like the beginning of an answer. Where does the wait? Actually, where does light come from? Okay, but the light has to come from somewhere. Maybe it's the surface. Why is she sweating? Wait, did he just? Okay. I see fish. I see water. I see a badass mother. I see a kingdom. And this is what happened to Atlantis 800 years ago. The other one, just casually, is like, you know, the other one, the one that everyone's mentioned before. How do you know it was 800 years ago exactly? Like, a rough enough estimate. Oh. It could have been rainwater. Rainwater, yeah. Yeah, okay, rainwater. See, I'm not dumb. I don't know why saying the term rainwater sounded weird. It sounded really weird. Wait, so their mountains were like that? Bro, they were bound to flood at some point. So you're telling me that in the old days, they were like, yeah, you know the people living way up in that mountain? We gotta go trek that. Like, excuse me? I said, nah, bro. My cousin lives up there. I'm never gonna see him my entire life. I'm just being honest. Like the topography is terrible if you think about it. Like imagine structuring your country like that. I mean, like, well, dude, I can't find anybody if I live up there. Also, how would you ever get down? Unless they had zip lines. Why is Sanji's sexy music playing? Oh, it's because Robin's on the card. I understand. Luffy, get out of here. No. Red poneglyph, which is a road poneglyph. This is where it's at. And Jack already found this. That was the implication, I guess. If we find more, then you can make it to Lafto, yeah. It's kind of strange and like weirdly coincidental that the water. Oh, okay. I don't know if you have a choice, to be honest. Oh, never mind. He does have a choice. How would you unleash the walls, though? It doesn't really give a lot of hints, but also kind of does give hints as to what Pluton could be. I don't think Odin knew. Oh, wait, I guess he did know. No, he did know. Yeah, he didn't know. Huh. He must have. He knew that part. Because he went to Lafto and everything, so they learned everything, but... Yeah. The reason Odin said that is information you found outside of the country, not within the country. Why would he want the fall of Wano? Probably going to be related to like the prophecy with Luffy destroying Fishman Island too, where it's like you're kind of sacrificing these lands to make the world better? More whole, maybe? Who knows? Is this how Green Bull looks like 24/7 when he's fighting? Because I'm not gonna lie, it kind of puts me off a little bit. He does look a little like broccoli. He's like, if Kaido wasn't here, just to be clear, I wouldn't scrap. But because it's Straw Hat Luffy, the guy who beat him, I'm good. It's like, what? What is that? How? Where's the logic? Pride. I mean, it's not just pride, but it's good reasoning, I guess. Bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum bum. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, he's like, you should be able to go off with Luffy too. Bum ba bum bum. Oh, he name dropped Zoro, but he didn't say Sanji. No, I'm not a Zoro fan, but I love the feud between those two. He said Luffy, Zoro, and the rest. Bum 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 bum. Woo! Oh. You gotta charge in like internal rage. Gotta bottle it in more. Such a pathetic drag. Oh, okay. It's a little rude. Oh, what if he can like decompose you? That would be actually, that's a disturbing way to go. Nah, I think about it. Like a dried out apple or something. Just rotting away. Ugh. It's hella morbid. Get angry! Get angry! I mean, Luffy is in the area. Come on. I mean, are we surprised he knows what's going on? Oh my god! He deleted him. Oh. Oh, yeah, it came out, but you're gonna need to shut it off at some point. He's like a flamethrower. Woo! Oh my god, Momo! Damn. It keeps going. Whoa. Yeah. But it's, bro, the firepower is there. Oh my god. I know it's just the animation making it look like way more impactful. Like, Green Bull's not getting mortally wounded by this, but still, that's intense. That's some serious firepower. I mean, he was right. The aim isn't there, but the firepower, look at that. He can regrow himself, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Shanks has had enough. Oh no, so Green Bull's about to get serious. Okay, because he was playing with them before. I'd say he was playing with them before, but here, the reach. Oh dude, people were saying this in the manga, bro. It looks just as crazy in the anime. The range, bro. He didn't even unsheath it. He just, for a split second? Are you crazy? This is what I'm saying, bro. Yonko are built different. Not all of them are the same. Shanks is different, but still, my goodness. Ah! Sorry, I promise not to scream like a little girl. I won't say that's not fair, Navy. Oh, it's a bit tasteless, don't you think? Uta! Wait, what? Wait, that was Uta. What? Okay, so we're making Uta canon? But is she going to be relevant to... I don't think she'd be relevant to the story, right? How would she fit in? I guess that it's trying to indicate that, like, Uta did happen. The movie's not canon. There's no way the movie's canon, right? I don't think the movie's canon. But Uta is canon. I guess it would make sense that if Shanks was talking about the new generation, he would think about his daughter, right? Sorry if you haven't seen the movie, but I mean, like, that's in the trailers. He has a kid, but I'm not gonna say anything else about that. But that is Uta. That was 100% Uta. That's so weird. She's got the hair loops and stuff. That is weird. I mean, it showed all the others, right? The youngsters, but these guys would have killed him. But I don't care if they got bandages or not. They would have annihilated. It wouldn't have been an easy fight, but still. You know Luffy. You know who that is. You say, I wonder who that was. Luffy's trying to play dumb. Bro, you're a lot smarter than we're giving you credit for. An old familiar face appeared in my mind. Luffy. I think, you know what I'll say? Even with the manga readers... Okay, yeah, that's the episode. Yeah, alright. Then I'll just continue what I'm saying in the post. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody, and I mean everybody, in my interpretation, is underestimating the hell out of Luffy. Like, and not, I'm not saying like physically. I'm not saying like, oh, everyone thinks that Kaido could beat Luffy if they had a fair 1v1. No. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand that point. Personally, I still side with Luffy. I think Luffy wins like, I think it's 5 out of 10 fights. To be honest, I think it's 50-50. If Kaido, is it 50-50? It depends. I mean, I'm not going to go into that argument. Regardless, I don't really have many issues with people who make that take because I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Kaido's built different. But I think Luffy actually is one of the characters right now, not throughout the entirety of the story, but at this point, I think I want to clarify something. In my interpretation, Luffy is one of the only characters in stories that right now is getting heavily nerfed by his author. And not so much of what he's capable of, but the fact of like, oh, I have a stamina issue. Oh, I burned out again. Oh, I can't stay in this form for longer than 10 minutes. And it's like, if you think about it, bare bones, Luffy's abilities, he is stronger than Kaido. He just is, right? Like, to me, I'd say he is. Now, regardless, the Kaido problem isn't really the thing I'm talking about when I say underestimating. I'm talking about mentally. I think we're all extremely underestimating what Luffy is actually like aware of like also how strong he thinks he is or how strong he knows he is. I think that's something else. Like ever since Gear 5, I think something obviously snapped in him, which was the awakening, but also mentally when he says this is my peak, or like with that was a specific anime situation. The manga I don't think had that, but there are moments where I'm like, mentally, I think since Gear 5, Luffy has changed extremely in terms of, I think, what he knows he could be capable of. He doesn't know for certain. I'm not saying he knows for certain. I'm just saying that it's almost like he went through in the span of one day. And I know that's hard to imagine for us in the span of one day, like the equivalent of like when you were a child and then puberty hit you in a day. And now you're just a full grown adult in terms of your capabilities. Like, you're like, I haven't tested to see if I'm like 3 times faster than I was, but I would guess based on how much effort it takes me to run like 100 meters that I actually might be 3 times faster than I was earlier. You know what I mean? Like Luffy didn't have to, like, he pushed himself really hard against Kaido, but he also was experimenting against Kaido. The only reason why I'm saying like the nerf thing, I'm adding that part in because we're gonna see Luffy in Gear 5 a few times, and he's not gonna deliver in the way we think he'll deliver, and people will downplay him a lot. way too much in my opinion. Like Luffy is more so at the mercy of Oda and how he wants to write him in terms of his stamina. The stamina is the only thing, the only excuse that Oda has had. Remember, Gear Second, he was like, "Oh, my lifespan, my lifespan." Then time skip, doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. There's no like any baggage or setback. Gear 4, "Oh, I can only last for 10 minutes." Against Kaido, he spammed the hell out of that. Spammed it so much, it was ridiculous. No, he still had a time gap. Well, he still had a time limit on it, sort of. There was a stamina thing, but it's one of those things where I'm like, realistically, if you gave Luffy a couple months, I'm not talking about a year. I'm talking a couple months. Give him like 2 months. The guy is ridiculously strong. Now, that is just his devil fruit. If we're talking about his hockey and what he's capable of, he also got other stuff by fighting Kaido. And I would say his observation hockey, way crazier than we're going to give it credit for. And then his, like, the capability with his advanced conquerors. This is all getting very specific power scaling stuff that, again, is super nerdy. And we shouldn't really even be talking about it because Oda writes the story. He can write it however he wants to make, suddenly Luffy can, goes from fighting a Yonko 1v1 for God knows how long in a lightning storm to, oh, now he gets exhausted fighting, like, I don't know, a commander or admiral or somebody in like for like 5 minutes. Who knows, right? Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, wait, but does that make sense? Does that really make sense, Oda? And then like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, let me just restart real quick. Like, is that gonna happen every single time? Probably not. Probably because Oda will be like, no, let him rest because he really needs it. It's like, dude, if the truth is, if he wasn't the main character, Luffy is nasty, so disgustingly nasty. So that's what I'm saying. In here, from now on, especially for anime watchers, from now on, I'm just gonna say, Luffy is he knows way more. He's way more capable, way smarter, way whatever, everything than what he appears to be to the audience. In a way, I think Oda is tricking us with Luffy now, in terms of now even Luffy's self-aware of what he's capable of. Not to a full degree, like for certainty. Like, it's almost like he understands in theory what he could become, and like more so than he's ever known before. I think you gotta remember, Luffy's a guy that always said, "I'm gonna be king of the pirates." So when he got to Gear 5, him saying, "This is my peak," remember, he wants to be king of the pirates. If he says this is my peak, that means that's his limit, right? So in terms of that, you got to think of it as like, if he says Gear 5 is his peak, that means he's thinking, I can feel it, I haven't shown it, and I'm not going to use it yet in terms of everything I could do, but I can feel that I could do things to the level of what I think the king of the pirates would be able to do, or the future king of the pirates would be able to do. I know there's a lot of Luffy gas, but I'm just saying, because Mr. Red-Haired Shanks has done a lot of crazy stuff here. All right, nasty stuff, absolutely disgusting, way nastier than what we saw in the manga. Let's just be very clear. That was ridiculous. The fact he unsheathed it this much, bro. I want to be very clear. In the manga, people will say, "Oh, manga readers, oh, they spoil everything. Oh, they don't get impacted by stuff." That was ridiculous. In the manga, this isn't spoilers because you just seen it. He took the whole sword out. No. In the anime, it's like 2 inches. I don't know. I would know 2 inches. I think it's like this much. But point, like, jokes aside, that, bro, it was nothing. And you're telling me the lightning has sentience to just be like, all right, now you're trapped. He's like, no, red haired. Oh no, Shanks. Oh no. Like, it's like, bro, it's even more disrespectful now. Like, Oda's trying to tell us, like, yeah, Shanks, I wanted to be even more nasty. I'm like, why? But my point is, if Luffy's peak is Gear 5, he has to surpass Shanks and Roger. So, let's put that into the... I'm not saying he can do that now. I'm saying once he gets used to what he's like, what Gear 5 is capable of, and not just Gear 5, his hockey, like all the hockeys and stuff that he has mastered, then yeah. Clearly, Shanks is the hockey master, the strongest hockey user we've ever seen. So we'll have Luffy test that out. I mean, Kaido said it himself. He was like, Roger, yada yada. I'm simping over Roger, yada yada. He did things only with hockey, yada yada yada. It's like, okay, that gives us the clear signification of like, you know, we went from finding Kaido who has a broken devil fruit to like now we have a broken devil fruit, but it's like, hey, you still need to work on that haki. It's like, okay, fine, whatever, you know. And then Shanks proves like, yeah, okay, haki's pretty important. So it's like, all right, cool. Not saying Luffy can't tap into that. I mean, come on. Over one fight with Katakuri, he learned Future Sight. Over one fight, well, not one fight, a few fights with Kaido, he learned Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Yeah, he'll get there. Who knows about what Shanks is doing here? I don't know. I don't think anybody really has a solid clue except for Oda himself. So we'll see how all that stuff goes. Again, I'm sorry for rambling, but I'm just saying this is a very important point, like a very important time and place for me to mention this, because I don't want to mention this again. I'm just going to say, like, so you guys understand my perspective. You know, I think the Yonkos, the gaps between them is massive, but I think all of them consistently are stronger. Even Buggy the Clown, no, I'm kidding, are all stronger than Admirals. And this is a bad example of that, because I think this is like the strongest versus the weakest of both parties. Like the strongest Yonko versus the weakest Admiral. It's going to make the Admirals look pretty bad. So let's not over exaggerate what we've seen here, but give us like a little bit of a clue of what we're dealing with, at least for the most part. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoy this reaction, you like the stuff you saw, and you're excited for more, please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care, peace, and goodbye.